Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of General Geekery. I am Brian, and with me, as always, is JD. And
Hello.
we'd like to welcome back one of our probably like number one, our most frequently invited guest. Number two, one of our most popular guests of all time, and that is Dayton Allen from Sithfire 30 Customs.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, it's good to see you again, brother.
Good.
It's like I'm the green room from the Saturday Night Live crew, like Tom Hanks in the green room. I need that special robe and the tea.
Not a
Uh,
bad idea. Might have to do a General Geekery t-shirt and send it out to guests.
I
There you
was gonna
go.
say we should get you a monogram smoking jacket, but sure, a t-shirt too. That works. Um,
We should do that. We should do a General Geekery
why
t-shirt.
the
Yeah,
fuck
why not?
don't we have
That's
General
cool.
Geekery t-shirts?
I don't know. Never
In
thought of
fact,
it.
for that
Yeah.
matter, your customizing channel has stickers. Why the fuck don't we have stickers?
I do. I got them right here. Actually, they're sitting
There you
downstairs.
go.
Right.
Yeah.
So we should get some General Geekery stickers of our logo.
All right.
I mean, you probably only need to order two or three of them because we might be the only ones who want them. But
Uh, yeah. Let me look into it. I think a sticker of our header from
um,
the Facebook page with Tony Stark would make an awesome sticker.
Cool.
I think it would too.
Yeah. Uh,
And I like how it takes a guest being on with us for either of us to consider these things.
well,
Um,
it's been a while. I don't think we've had a guest on all year.
we haven't had a guest on since 1932. So,
Facility. I don't even remember the last.
I,
Around for a while, bro.
well, I mean, yeah, a lot of times when we do this, it's not so much spur of the moment, but it might be like a day in advance or whatever. But,
Yeah.
and then sometimes it is just, hey, when do you want a podcast? I don't know. Anytime, really. So tomorrow, no, I'm working. Oh, well, so not really anytime. And
Yeah.
then, or it'll be, well, I'm off today. Oh, well, how about like 4 o'clock this afternoon? All right, let's do that. So,
Or hey, I got something in the mail. Let's open it on the show.
well,
Yeah.
that too. Um, so, but yeah, Dayton, welcome to the show. It is nice having you on again.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Um,
I got my missile systems in yesterday. I got two of them. The Cobra
Cool.
missile system. Yeah.
Nice.
I like it. I like it. Is it
I-
worth the money? I'm still with the agreement with everybody else saying, is it worth the amount of money paid? Kind of not really. But
did you get a his tank?
if I factor in a nostalgia feel I have of that little missile system that I didn't get because of the exclusives back in the day, yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it to me.
it was worth it for the Techno Viper. I would have bought it just for the Techno Viper.
I love the Techno Viper. He's one of my. I think when I was a kid, I had like two of them. The purple ones.
Yep.
Because they were purple. That's I thought. In Battlefield, these guys walking around with purple suits on. Awesome.
I had one Techno Viper, and I was put off by the head sculpt.
I used the shit out of my Techno Viper when I was a kid.
But I got them the same year. Like I had the maggot tank, and and I really liked the worm figure. I didn't use him as a trooper though. I couldn't figure out why the trooper looked like a general of some sort. But yeah, I had a Techno Viper, and I had the Cobra Law figures too, so it all went hand in hand for me. Um, but
Yeah. I had the Cobra a lot too. I miss all those figures, man. I had them all and got them sold through yard sales because we kept moving every year. I'm a military brat too, so every year we had to sell our stuff because it's just we didn't have room for it. I didn't know what kind
yeah,
of quarters we were going to live in, and the only thing that I kept is a box Terradrome. I got the box, and the Terradrome is complete. And I always just loved the Terradrome so much. My mom didn't want to give it away, so when we bought it, she said, just keep the box and we'll just keep putting it in the box. And the box is in really good shape because what my dad did is when we got it, he made another box for it and that fitted and he just
oh, that's cool.
that. So yeah, it's the only thing I have of my original toy collection.
I don't have
Yeah,
that
I remember that. I remember that feeling of the unknown. We don't know what the quarters are going to be like. And back then, like storage units, I don't even think those were around. So they weren't an
your
option.
garage if you got one.
yeah, it was a matter of bring the things you need, get rid of the stuff that you can live without,
Yeah.
and see, if it was up to me, though, I would have gotten rid of more clothes than toys, but, whatever. It was clearly not up to me. So,
And don't leave your stuff with your grandmother's house, because your grandmother will one day go upstairs and say, well, he hasn't been here for 3 years. I'm just going to give this away. And
um,
that, my Slave One, my Millennium Falcon, my all that stuff I kept up in my grandmother's house to come and get when I was little to play with when I was there. She gave it all away, bless her heart. She didn't know. But
all,
it's
all the baseball cards my dad collected when he was a kid, when when he moved out, went to college, my grandmother threw all that stuff away.
oh no.
Um, so after that debacle, um, her valuable lesson was don't throw shit away just because the kids aren't there. So when we visited, like in the summertime as kids, if we left stuff, her and my grandfather, they never threw it out. They apparently learned the lesson by throwing out valuable baseball cards. So,
Yeah.
My horror story was when I turned 18, my dad kicked me out of the house and made me get rid of my comic book collection.
Oh no.
I had like first appearance of
Oh,
Punisher. I had a full run of Iron Man. I had the first like 5 appearances of Venom, Spider-Man 300. I had a huge, impressive collection. I had every appearance of the Punisher.
oh Lord, man.
Yeah,
Those early Punisher comics are awesome.
yeah.
how
All that went away. I had full runs of Punisher, Punisher War Journal.
Yeah.
All that went away.
did you have you replaced all those? Just curious.
No, I
Um,
there's no way I could afford a Spider-Man 300 or an Amazing Spider-Man
oh,
129.
that's probably true. Yeah.
The Iron Man stuff and the like Punisher runs and most of the Punisher appearances I have replaced. But yeah, there's some really I had like first appearance of Deadpool, all that stuff. Some of that's
Oh, I
just
had the first appearance of Deadpool. I read the shit out of that comic.
yeah.
Um,
Some of that stuff's just too expensive to replace.
yeah, your dad's a big fat douchebag.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a, you know what? We're not going to unpack that. So, but yeah, Dayton, welcome to the show. Just curious, what are you working on right now? I saw some like a
Well,
cockpit for like the alien ship or something. I'm like,
yeah,
ooh, nice.
I'm working on, well, I've got a bunch of stuff I'm working on. It you can sort of, I can't move my camera around, but you can see sort of over the shoulder here some of my Star Wars guys right there sort of
Now I was
sitting
gonna
there.
say, I see
Right
some.
next to that is the Narcissus. And the
Nice.
Narcissus shuttle interior ranges about 23 or 24 inches wide, about 38 inches long so far.
Uh-oh, what's so?
Just
You want to say Dayton's here?
retrieving emergency ball retrieval.
Hi, Emily.
Hey,
Hello.
hello, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you.
You too. Are you having a wonderful, productive, informative discussion here?
Oh, the doggy. Yeah, I am.
We just got stuck.
I got a golden retriever. I'm a dog guy, so it's like, I see dogs, I gotta stop and get in the ground and play with them.
Understandable.
Yup.
I had to come down because the little one knocked her ball into the window well, and so I can retrieve it from the basement for her.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah. He does.
yeah, luckily she's smart enough to not dive after it, but I don't know how much patience he has.
Yeah.
He has, so I'm gonna go.
All right.
Well, it's good to see you.
Woo.
Oh, good.
Yeah. You too. Have fun.
All right, take care.
Live long and prosper. Yeah, yeah, that what do you call it? The narcissist.
It's called a Narcissus.
Yeah,
It's
that like I
yeah,
looked at the pictures. I'm like, damn, this guy's got a lot of patience.
yeah. Well, if you think, I've been working on it since probably about 2014 when I started it, so it's kind of like a little bit here, a little bit there.
It's been
You know,
a while.
it's just when I feel the urge, I'll work on panel by panel and stuff like that and get some things done. It's got a long way to go, but I've really put a lot of effort into it the last 2 or 3 weeks, trying to get some panels that I've been really wanting to complete from that. I think I'm getting close to getting ready to do the front end of the canopy that goes across. Then from there, I'm doing a video on what my intentions are afterwards. You know, I've had people ask me if
Gonna
this is
ask-
going to,
I was just going to ask what the finished product is going to look like.
I'll tell you guys right now, my intention is to enclose this with the exterior part of the shuttle, the top part, kind of like a shell.
Okay, yeah.
Um, because I already have a partial part of the rear of the exterior of the shuttle done.
Okay.
That goes in the back. So I'm thinking to myself, well, it kind of looks stupid with just one little part of the shuttle in the back. I might as well just do like the two back boosters in the front, and that would make it about 58 inches wide by 40 something inches long. And I don't know where I'd put it. So, you know, I'll figure that out later.
Here's mine. I got
But
plenty of room
yeah.
here. Yeah.
So real quick, are you gonna go see the new Alien movie? I just heard about it for the first time ever last week. So
Yeah, I'll go see that. Yeah.
just
Romulus.
curious. I didn't see the last two, so I
I didn't like the last two. Last two bugged me a lot.
I saw
They
the
just it was more of a hype train than anything else.
I didn't see the last Indiana Jones movie either. So
Yeah, I missed that either.
Yeah.
um,
We just finished the sixth Mission Impossible movie. I've got Emily sitting down and watching all the Mission Impossible movies in order. So
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
fuck yes.
we got one more to sit through before the new one comes out.
awesome. They're good. I like those.
Yeah.
I like those movies. I don't understand how Tom Cruise keeps doing his own stunts.
It's amazing.
I don't. I feel like, you know how they say that Jackie Chan's broken everything in his body that he can break and keep on functioning? I don't understand why Tom Cruise, either he hasn't had the same problem or it hasn't been publicized that he's had the same problem, because man, that guy is out his damn mind.
Yeah. Yeah, some of those motorcycle stunts that he does, they're crazy.
Yeah. I'm sure he's got a double for some things.
That's what I was gonna say. I think some of the more dangerous, well, not some of the more dangerous, because like the one where he's hanging off the side of the plane, that's him. That
Yeah.
he did that.
Yeah,
But,
that's him climbing the outside of that building over in Dubai.
Yeah. I've been building. I've been by that building.
Did you consider climbing up the side of it with suction cups on your hands?
No, did not. I don't know that movie was out at that point in time, number one, and no, I did not consider going up the side of that building.
You know, in the second movie when he's doing that free climbing thing out on the, I'm like, I fail to understand why the fuck people do that stuff, but whatever. Takes all types to move the world.
Keeps me in business.
Yeah.
Well, so Dayton, what do you think about taking the General Geekery Questionnaire?
All right. Ready to go. Let's do this.
All right.
So yeah, we had to rename it because we want to run into copyright issues with Stephen Colbert, because we are using some of his questions from the Colbert Questionnaire, but we are turning it into the General Geekery Questionnaire because JD and I have both added a few geekery questions.
Cool. Right.
I will say that the ones that Brian came up with are a little more hard hitting than mine.
Okay. Oh Lord. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, what is the best sandwich?
Let's see. I have been really enjoyed. I always like a Philly steak sandwich.
Ooh.
That's got to, it's got to be, the meat's got to be simmered really well, and it's got to have all the traditional toppings on it and stuff. I don't want any new these crazy little things they throw on it that's supposed to make it unique. Just give me a good old fashioned Philly steak sandwich, and I'm good to go with it.
Peppers and onions.
foot long, have to be cut in half. I want all of it. So, you know.
With peppers
Chips with it.
I think that's the traditional toppings.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think provolone cheese goes with it.
Yeah.
I think that, or
Place
whatever
here
cheese to kind of pour on top. Yeah.
We got a place here in town that does a really good Philly steak sandwich.
Second place would be a Cuban. I lived in Cuban country, so in Tampa, Cuban sandwiches are like crazy here.
Yeah, you live in a great place to get Cuban food.
Oh boy!
Right. What is one thing that you own that you really should throw out?
Oh boy! One thing that I own that I should throw out. Didn't I just throw it away the other day? What was it that I bought and I said, I'm so glad I'm rid of this shit. What was it? Golly, what was it? I'm looking around right now because I've been selling a lot of my stuff lately off of eBay to get rid of things and that. What in the world was that? Oh, no, it was now this is not bad stuff. It's just something I couldn't complete because I ran out of money and it cost too much to find it. I was in these build a models, these subscription services where you build stuff. Yeah. Now, so far, the only 2 subscription services that I've gone through that I actually accomplished was a T800 endoskeleton and the which I never have built yet, and the getting ready to complete the Ecto 1, which I haven't finished building. I haven't even started building yet. So I got those 2 in boxes. But hold on, you guys froze up, so I'm just waiting here. Let's see here. You guys there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The other one that I had that was getting ready to, that I was looking forward to building was the Millennium Falcon. And I came in late with that one and had like a box full of parts. Tried to sell them off by themselves and I couldn't get rid of them. I just couldn't get rid of them. So finally I just bid it as a lot. And it sat around and sat around and sat around in this room, in this box forever. Just getting in my way, just pushing all these pieces out of the way, just couldn't stand it. And finally some good, bless his heart, called, emailed me and said, hey, I'll take those parts off you for this much. And it was like ridiculously low. But I said, you know what?
Just,
fine,
you know what? It's better than sitting on it.
Yeah. Take it. And it was so awesome that to box that thing up. And I took it down to the UPS store and I actually literally audibly said, get rid of this shit to the UPS thing. I said, I've been waiting to get rid of this forever. She said, what's in it? Like she got concerned, like I was like trying to get rid of something really bad. I said, no, it's just model pieces, but it's been sitting in my room for almost a year. I'm glad.
Out of curiosity, when your dog Sam picks up your socks, does he just carry them around or does he chew on them?
Both. He'll carry them around and try to keep them from me. And then when I'm tired of trying to chase them around, he'll lay down and start chewing on them. Yeah. So I got like.
So you throw those out after he chews them up?
No, he just sort of just pulls on them a little bit and just makes a little hole in the heel or and then I walk around and say, well, these are my holy socks that I'm wearing because it's Thursday night and I got nothing else to do, so I'll just wear those.
Just curious.
I keep all my good socks somewhere else so you can get to them.
Perfect. That's funny. What is the scariest animal?
Scariest animal. Oh, can it be an insect?
Go for it.
Horsefly. Let me tell you something, okay? I'm not afraid of snakes. I'm not afraid of spiders. I'm not afraid of wasps. I love sharks, even though I've never been near one, tigers and all that stuff. But one day I walked out. I was introduced here in Florida to a horsefly by walking outside my porch, and a horsefly landed above my brow and just bit me.
Ooh. Oh,
it was like a laceration. It was the guy was that big. Okay,
Jesus Christ!
And I swelled up horribly from this thing. Oh. And I remember after it bit me, I looked up and it was sitting on a screen on the edge of the lanai, and I could. Its eyes, it's like a regular fly, but it's been irradiated.
Yeah.
It turns into the Hulk. And it's like huge, man. Yeah, and I could see my reflection in its eyes or something like that. Felt like that's how it freaked me out, and I just swatted it real hard on the ground, and stomped on it, and from there on out, I see a horsefly either boogie out, I just bug out, or I find something to kill it with.
Ugh.
Those things are
Did
scary.
you consider running away from Florida after that?
No, I said I like the sunshine too much, so I'm good. I'll just
Gotcha.
stay aware of these little monsters, man, because they
Yeah, no
just hang
kidding.
out. And one was on my driver's side door when I was getting ready to go, and I said, "Well, I guess I'm gonna be late because I'm not going towards the thing." I actually got some, I actually got some bug spray or some wasp spray, and I stood real far away. I know thought guys next door thought I was crazy, and I said Hicks said in the Aliens, I said, "Eat this," and I sprayed him real hard, and sprayed the side of my car with stuff. Almost passed out because it's almost like tear gas, that shit.
Yeah,
So
nasty stuff.
I don't think it killed him. I think he lived and started laughing as he flew off or
It's
something.
probably huffing it. It's like,
But
oh,
yeah,
that's good shit, man. That's good shit. All right.
He,
Apples or oranges? Oh, I think we're breaking up here. Dayton,
still
still
broke
there?
up.
All right. Apples or oranges?
Apples. My stomach doesn't tolerate citrus too much.
Ah, in Florida? That seems kind of
Yeah, and that's strange.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
have you ever asked somebody for their autograph?
Oh yeah. Been plenty conventions.
So
We
I think
got
we need to change this question to who's your favorite person you've asked an autograph for?
oh, okay.
That's
Honestly,
true. I forgot we were going to change this question.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth. Peter Mayhew, right,
Okay.
Chewbacca?
Yes.
He stood after I signed my autograph, or he signed my book. I brought one of those making of books. He started looking through it after he signed it, and we had a line, people waiting. And he just sat there and said, "Let me tell you a little story about this guy right here." And he started talking about others in the book, and he drew a circle around someone else and made a little funny next to it and stuff. And I'm sitting there going, "What's this guy? What am I doing?" He's just such a nice guy. And I saw him.
He was fantastic.
Well, here's the kicker. When he was doing that, he said, "How did that diorama come out?" And this goes to show you that he had a great memory. 3 years earlier, I did at a comic show, at a little comic book place, a little comic shop there in Nashville. I did a diorama to celebrate the re-release of the soundtrack to Star Wars: A New Hope. And that was back in the 90s when they re-released all the new special editions and stuff.
Yeah.
And the gentleman that played General Tag, and Jeremy Bulloch came to sign, and they signed my artwork. And Peter Mayhew asked me to sit down because he was upset that the comic book owner was telling me to leave. He said, "He did all this work back here, and you tell him to leave, he can sit down with us." And so
Nice.
I was I didn't want to bring that up to Peter, but he remembered. See, he's the one brought it up. He said, "So how's that diorama?" I said, "I still have it. It's safe and it's not leaving
That's
my
cool.
own." So that was the last time I spoke to him. That's why he was taking so much time with me, because he remembered me. I thought that was the coolest thing,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And
So every time I see Chewbacca, I always smile because I know that man's he's a kind man,
I
really
met
and
kind man.
yesterday was 5 years since he died. I saw it on Facebook. I'm like, damn, 5 years already?
I met him
Yeah.
in Houston and ended up talking to his wife for a couple hours.
Yeah. They're
At
friendly people.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah. So
Our,
that's a great memory there.
what do you think happens when we die?
I believe in an afterlife. I do believe in an afterlife. That's my faith. So yeah.
Your favorite action movie?
Oh wow. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Um, when he talks about just crazy action, I'm talking about this crazy nonstop when it gets to. This is going to sound corny because a lot of people don't like this film, but I guess some people do. Do you remember Armageddon?
I
Yeah.
love that movie.
Oh, you do? Good. That film, I can sit there. If I just want action and some comedy and just nonstop motion, and I don't want anything to slow down, and I don't want dialogue to drag, that's the film I'll watch. And
All right.
it's just nonstop from start to finish.
That's one of those movies I've seen it so many times I can quote. Not all of it, but most of it. Like when the old guy says, I want to name the asteroid after my wife. She's a vicious life sucking bitch from which there's no escape. Or
Yeah.
the cosmonaut when he's hitting all the inside of it with the wrench. He's like Russian components, American components. It's all built at the lowest bidder, and then he's trying to. I love that movie. I've seen that movie so many times. That's one that if I put it on the streaming service and I'm already into it because I left off somewhere, I don't care. I'll just watch it from there. So
and that part where he gets on top of that nuclear warhead, and the commander looks at him real calmly and says, "Get off the nuclear warhead." He says, "I never seen that film, huh?"
Yeah. Yes.
Steve Buscemi was kind of perfect for that part. He plays Space Madness very well.
Yeah, that was a great film. It's just a good acting.
I can't tell you how many times I don't think I've seen it as many times as you guys, but I have that's one I've seen. I couldn't tell you how many times. All right. Let's see here. Favorite smell.
Oh, I got one. It's a perfume. That's because it was from my first girlfriend. She wore Brewberry perfume.
Okay.
And I can be walking down, let's say, the mall or a store. If I smell it, I have to turn my head and look for it. I mean, I don't chase a woman down, but I'll turn my head and go, "Where's that coming from?" I love that smell. It's just something. It's a nostalgic. It's a really good time in my life, and it's just something that just hits me right there when I hear it.
It's like an emotional reaction. So
correct.
Least favorite smell.
Boy, that's a hardcore BO. Just hardcore sitting on an airplane, guy sits next to you going, "Holy crap, man, where did that come from?" That type of BO. And I worked in a dog kennel for an early part of my high school life. I worked in dog kennels, so dog crap don't bother me. I actually worked with working in a cremator at one point or another, so decomposition smell doesn't bother me. I did some rough work to get to being a graphic designer and a senior graphic. So when these guys come in from the warehouse going, "You need to earn your keep. You guys don't get out here and work." I said, "Dude, you don't know what I've done." But those types of stuff don't bother me. But a bad body odor, yeah, that's a bad smell, dude.
3 days at a convention with nerds that don't use deodorant.
Standing in line with them. You know, I bring a little bottle of this something just because I sweat. Hey, man, I want to stink. I get it. But, I'll bring a little bottle of something, or I'll put some sort of something under my nose, just sort of, because sometimes it's bad, dude.
It's like had that experience. I've never had shitty body odor experience at a convention.
Oh, sheesh, I've been unfortunate. I guess I've been unlucky.
I happen to have a really weak sense of smell. So a lot of like little tiny smells during it, I don't like. People complain about smells all the time, and a lot of it I can't smell. So I've never personally had the experience, but I've known enough people who have functional senses of smell that do. So I'm like, yeah, I can imagine the unpleasantness, and I don't go to that many conventions either. So
well, let me make something clear. Like I said, I get people sweat and they stink. That's cool. I'm not one of those that goes, "Man, what's that smell? Everybody stinks." No, but someone that absolutely reeks, dude. I mean, that you can smell when they're walking by you in the convention, and that you get a wisp of their after breath or something when they walk by you, and you're going, "Whoa, dude, what the heck, man?"
I was so worried about that. Going to my first convention. I'm like, everybody's gonna stink and I'm gonna hate it.
Yeah.
It I don't know. I guess it just
Well,
got
I
like,
think it's probably because I've been in Florida. It's different here. It's hot, and
yes.
it's in the summers. Most of the good conventions are.
Yeah.
Whew, man, you
Huh.
know.
What was your first concert?
Oh, okay, yeah. This was crazy because I got kicked out. Um, it was eighth grade. Oh, it's not what you think. It
Oh,
was eighth grade, and I was told, me and my few friends found out that the Freedom Hall Civic Center next to we went to Liberty Bell Junior High School, and right next in up in East Tennessee, and right next to the high school or the junior high school was this Freedom Hall Civic Center. It's a big concert center. Aerosmith was going to play that night, and they were going to film Ragdoll, the concert part of it,
oh, man.
during that production. So
Oh,
me
man.
and about three others decided we were going to sneak through because we knew where the cafeteria led underneath into the studios areas where the dressing rooms are and all that stuff. And we're going to sneak in there. We're going to get up top and go into the audience. Well, they had an age requirement. We got eighth graders walking in, and I wasn't even hitting my growth spurt fully yet, and I was just a skinny little runt, and about three other of us, wearing our little jerseys and stuff. You knew we weren't going to get through, but we got through into the crowd. Got to see Aerosmith walking around, Steven Tyler and them walking around and stuff. They got the cameras. We were getting ready to be in Ragdoll video. I'm like, we're going to be in the Ragdoll video, man. We're going, All of a sudden, this bouncer guy looked at us, started pointing. He says, "Listen, they're looking at us." I'm going, "What? What?" And they said, "Like, well, how'd you get in here?" So we came through the front. You guys let us in. No, we didn't. Get out. Go. You don't have tickets. Do you have the stamp on your hand? We don't no stamps on our hands or any tickets or anything. We got escorted nicely out, and we got a poster and with somebody, Steven Tyler signed it or something like that for
That's
our.
cool.
But yeah, that was. So you say favorite concert? I will say that's my favorite concert because it was. I got to see Aerosmith in their prime, pretty much in their prime. I almost got to be in the video, but
That would
you
be
know.
chicken rights for sure. Aerosmith,
So
favorite bands.
yeah, every time I see that video come on, I look at the crowd and going, that my head could have been right there, bobbing up and down, going,
So close and yet so far.
yep. Oh well, we tried. You
Flat or sparkling?
know, sparkly.
All right.
What in terms of just anything?
Water.
Water, sparkling.
Most frequently used app on your phone.
Um, right now it would probably be my Zoom because when I'm not doing it on the PC or the Mac right now, I'm really having a lot of Zoom calls in with meetings and stuff like that because I do photography, location photography for the merchandise we sell and other things. So I'm using that a lot.
Gotcha.
Yep.
You get one song to listen to for the rest of your life. What is it?
That's
Doesn't
a
have to be
question.
on the loop. Doesn't have to be constant. But if you put
God,
music on, this song is going to click.
God. See, now I remember you asked this question last time, and I sat there for 2 hours thinking about that mess, and I couldn't. I still can't.
I narrowed it down to like one album. Like
I
I could
hope you don't answer. You have another question that I know someone's going to ask, and I know it's going to be impossible for me to answer, but I'm going to try this one real good. Let's see. Um, let's see. I know what it is. I gotta look it up real quick. Give me a second because I forgot the name of it. Yeah, this is the one song I want to hear the rest of my life, but I can't remember the friggin' name of it. Um. Oh, okay. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but "Eyes Without a Face" by Billy Idol.
Okay.
There is a certain rhythm to it that's great sounding to me. It has that synthesizer 80s groove to it, and then you have rock and roll in the middle of it. It starts to go hard rock. So you got a nice little combination. Plus, it was during a time, again, nostalgia kicks in with that song. So yeah,
I grew up in that time too, so I can totally relate to that song.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see. What number am I thinking of?
7.
Nope.
Nope. What was it?
I'm not telling.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking of the same number every time. We're just gonna see if somebody can get it.
That's gonna be crazy.
Describe the rest of your life in 5 words.
Oh boy. Let's see. Don't get stressed about bullshit. Don't get stressed about bullshit.
There you
I don't
go.
want to get stressed out about bull crap anymore, man. If it doesn't involve my love life or my loved ones or my friends or something like that, doesn't come up to my front door, I'm not going to stress about it.
I like
I
that.
mean,
That should
getting
be
That's a
ready
good one.
that should be on a
Yeah.
motivational poster somewhere.
I'm going to reveal my age. I'm getting ready to turn 50, and I just don't have time to bullshit around again anymore, you know?
Oh yeah, and I just turned 50 last July, so I feel you.
Okay, yeah. The world
And
can't control it, so you know, just go with it. You know?
Yeah, and I'm 44 going on 68, so
Yeah.
Those 40s will fly. I thought my 40s were going to be slow. They flew by.
Yeah, just gone.
Yeah.
Fart like a fart in the wind.
I
Idle or
turned
window
50.
seat? Oh,
What was that?
aisle or window seat?
Oh, window seat. I do like looking out the window, you know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it looks like it gets to ask my question. So,
all right, best action figure.
Oh, that freaking question. Doggone it.
When Brian posed this question to him, I'm like, what the fuck kind of question? This is the hardest question on this damn survey, I think.
I was torn between 2. One is kind of not fair because it was a combiner team. Both are Transformers.
okay.
One is
Hey, go with the combiner. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, it's either going to be okay. Then it's a combiner team of the Constructicons. I love the Constructicons.
Oh, that's what that bright green stuff is back there.
Oh yeah, I got like 2 different teams of Constructicons up there. I got the Bruticus and the Combaticons. I got
Bruticus.
Metroplex. Yeah, I got Metroplex. I got Unicron. All these are third party, by the way. I'm a big fan of the third party guys. I do collect the Takara and the Hasbro stuff. I just got the Takara hoist in the other day. I love that stuff. I love Transformers. But the earliest I can remember when I was a kid owning them. So the first combiner team I got was the Constructicons, and I just couldn't believe that these little construction guys that I love so much can combine into a menacing robot like that. I've loved them ever since. So yeah, that's my favorite.
Good pick.
Yeah, let's say that's good call.
Devastator. I guess I can call him Devastator is my favorite.
Devastator. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would that's a good pick. What is the custom that you're most proudest of? Or your favorite custom that you've done?
The custom most
or your favorite or your favorite
my favorite
that you've done.
You know, I think it might be the one I had the most fun with. It wouldn't be, a lot of people think it's my Dark Malgus, but it was that Star Killer that I did. Star Killer based on a sequel video game.
Okay.
That Star Killer I had the most fun with because I didn't want to get involved too much with soft goods, but I made myself get into it with that one. I made that cloak and I put the wire in the cloak and stuff. And I think if I had it, whenever I can get my display set up and have my customs around, that would be like a centerpiece of my Star Wars guys getting around at that Star Killer custom.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, did you build the Star Destroyer for him to pull out of the atmosphere with the Force? But
yeah,
that's next year.
Yeah,
Um,
that's next lifetime actually. I want to need a lifetime to start that one.
one geek growl.
One geek grail.
Yeah, so it can be anything from pop from a movie to just anything. If somebody said you can have one geek grail, what would that be?
Yeah. Boy, there's I know this sounds redundant because there's so many of these out there in reproductions and stuff. But my favorite character, well, let me think about this for a second. When you first asked this question last week and I was listening to it, I said, "Oh, the '89 Batmobile. I want it parked in my garage." Then
Yeah,
I thought about it going, nah, what would I do with it after a while? I would be, someone would rip it off.
Yeah, well, if it had the machine guns, you could go do
Yeah,
an assault on Axis Chemicals.
right?
yeah. Then, if I could, gosh, would that be it? I mean, um, see, these questions get you torn. It's either the '89 Batmobile. Yeah, that's
I, I
it.
I think that is an excellent choice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
JD
yeah.
went with the Book of the Dead from the Mummy, and I picked the Iron
Oh, I
Man.
don't know.
Yeah, I picked the Iron Man Mark III from the 2008 Iron Man
Oh,
movie.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh, cool. That'd be great, man.
yeah. So that is definitely I think some of our questions are on par with Stephen Colbert's questions for as difficult as they are.
I
So
think so. That
Yeah,
fucking favorite action figure thing. Good God.
yeah,
yeah, that's rough.
it is. Yeah, it is. I don't know what I picked. I don't think I didn't answer that one. So Dayton, what is your your D&D character alignment? Not a D&D character, you. What is your alignment?
My D&D alignment. Um, this is Dungeons and Dragons, right? This
Yeah.
goes to show you how stupid I am about it. Um, what would be what? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know much about D&D, so alignment. How would I align myself
Feel
with
free
that?
to look it up if you want to. Just
Okay,
you know, I because I went with chaotic neutral because, well, I am. My whole life has been flying by the seat of my pants with things, but
Chaotic
I've
neutral.
always endeavored to be the best person I could be to
Chaotic neutral.
varying degrees of success.
I went
yeah,
with I went with in personal lifetime my so personally chaotic neutral, professionally lawful good.
okay.
As a paramedic, I can't really say that I'm
Let
chaotic.
me research that, and because I need to educate myself on that, and I'll let you know. I'll
Fair
think.
enough.
Yeah, got me on one of those. I was not prepared for that one.
um, which doctor is your doctor?
Which doctor is my doctor
Yeah,
in terms of
Doctor
oh,
Who, not your medical doctor.
yeah. Um, wow, man.
Okay, who? When I say your
I would
doctor,
say, yeah.
Who
who
is your
did you start with, and is that doctor your favorite, or do you have different favorites?
Dr. McCoy.
All
Does that
right,
make
okay.
sense? Dr. McCoy's always been my favorite doctor on TV. If I needed some guy to at my back, Dr.
I
McCoy would be my
I love Ace, and I love that she calls him Professor. Um,
yeah. Okay.
and he was your first, and he is your favorite.
Yeah, I'd say Dr. McCoy is my favorite. Yeah.
All right. And last question, your favorite music soundtrack.
Oh wow.
Stage, television, movie,
Yeah.
whatever.
I think it's gonna be Empire Strikes Back.
That's
Yeah.
a good choice.
I've listened to Empire so many times now. I can put myself to sleep by just humming it to
I
myself, you know. So
I can't.
some of the John Williams, wonderful.
Empire has the best soundtrack. The only tracks that it does not have are Duel of the Fates and Battle of the Heroes. That's it. Like if you tack those prequel tunes onto the Empire Strikes Back soundtrack, that's it. That's the best. That's the best.
I will
that's
say
the best symphonic music ever.
I will say that composition he did for Return of the Jedi, Luke's the Jedi where he rescues Han and Leia and them from Jabba the Hutt, the sail barge scene. That whole
I love that. Yeah, I love that.
That's wonderful too.
I find that overall, I don't think Jedi has a real distinctive soundtrack like the first two, except for the really soaring themes like the sail barge rescue, like that dun, 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 as it blows up. I love that. And I do love the Emperor's theme.
The Emperor's theme's wonderful, yeah. Yeah, it's awesome too.
But yeah, it can't go wrong with Empire. Yeah. Hands down, the best of the soundtracks. That Asteroid Chase is classic.
That's awesome stuff. Yeah.
So that is the General Geekery Questionnaire.
Survived it.
Yes. Yes.
You get a little badge.
Yeah.
Those stickers, dude.
Yeah, we totally need like a reward to give away for that. So yeah, I'll look into that. That's a good idea.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's great.
So this weekend is the 25th anniversary of the release of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
I'm feeling old, dude. I'm feeling old.
25 years.
I was in paramedics. Yeah, I had just started paramedic school.
Wow.
I
here, I think. Yeah.
I was going to community college my first year. I was straight out of I'd been out of high school for less than a year. And I was working at Sears. And I was such a nerd that for the last 2 months before it opened in theaters, I was keeping a daily countdown. Like if I went into work, they'd ask me how many days till Star Wars, and I'd tell them how many days till Star Wars. I was there for the midnight release for the toys at Walmart. I didn't buy a lot of them, but I was there for all of it.
Fine, man. I did that with my sister.
I just and for the 20th anniversary, the 25th anniversary, they're re-releasing it this weekend in theaters. Are you going to go see it?
Yeah, I'd like to. I like that poster. The anniversary poster is really nice.
Yeah, I did
that.
I think the anniversary poster is nicer than the posters that they originally had for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Is it just playing this weekend, do you know, or are they gonna have it in theaters for a while?
I think it's just this weekend.
And Saturday and Sunday this week.
Although the way it's playing tomorrow, I think some places I think it's playing today. But
we're gonna go. I got family in town today and tomorrow, and then I gotta work Saturday and Sunday. I was hoping they'd be.
I mean, I could be wrong though. I mean,
I'll have to look.
You may want to look that up, but I think they were doing it to celebrate May 4th, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. I know I'm going Saturday. I'm taking my children. My firstborn is a Star Wars fan. They've been a Star Wars fan since I took them to go see the Clone Wars movie in 2008 on opening day. So, and they're the one that I watch Bad Batch, the Clone Wars, Rebels, and all the other movies since the buyout at the theater with. My firstborn is a Star Wars fanatic, just like I am. My son, not so much. He likes Tatooine, and everything from Tatooine.
Yeah.
So, well, he's gonna feel like he's being dragged to the movie theater. It's got Tatooine in it, so I feel like I can get away with it. It's not that he dislikes Star Wars. He's very choosy about what he wants to see in the movie theater, and it's usually like Godzilla. Or next month we're going to see the Planet of the Apes. But he hasn't been to any of the other Star Wars movies in the theater. I took my older kid to them, but yeah, we got to go see this one because now here's a question. Did you see the Phantom Menace more than once at the theater the first time?
Yeah. I actually moved here around that time, and I had a friend back in Nashville that I told him, I said, I'll fly back to watch it with you. So I actually flew back to stand in line to go we got tickets. I actually got the ticket stubs in one of my books somewhere.
We
stood in line, and I spent that weekend with my friend Chris, I think, and we went saw it twice. I think we saw it twice. We went through and saw it the first time, came out, then we went to like ransack all of the there were so many different type of promotional things going on. Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, KFC, and all these other ones were selling. You remember those
the cup toppers?
The cup toppers, yeah. We went
Yeah.
through like 3 KFCs to get all the cup toppers and asked for them specifically. We went to, I think Pizza Hut had some sort of contest, and they had these cool little bags that had all the artwork on it and stuff. So we got all that stuff. We were going crazy about it, and saw it a second time, and then that was it. Got in the plane, came on home. It was a great time.
Yeah, sounds
And
like
we did do that what was it, 1 week before the release, or was it 2 weeks or something like that before the release? They did the Midnight Madness.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
that's like,
yeah, I think it was about 2 weeks before because it was late April. Yeah, it was late April that Midnight Madness, and then the movie came out a few weeks later.
I just asked my sister out of just curiosity. I didn't think she'd say yes. I said, would you want to go down there and hang out with me at Midnight Madness? She said, yes. What are we doing? I said, I'm going to try to buy as many of the toys as I can. She said, okay, you need help? I said, yeah. So we got down there thinking it wasn't going to be that many people. And it was a line going all the way around Toys R Us. We're sitting there going, oh, I'm not going to get anything. Well, no one was limiting anything to anybody. I thought that for sure they're not going to have enough stuff. I said I wanted to get that. I think the Naboo Starfighter was going to be released, the big one.
Yeah, I had one of those.
Yeah, that was my main key to get one of those. Okay.
You mean the N1, right? The yellow.
No,
or do you mean the chrome
Queens?
Queen
Yeah, the
ship?
chrome.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I never had one. I wanted one. I never had one.
I had one. Well, it didn't move from one of mine.
Yeah.
It didn't make one of the moves.
Yeah. So we got in line. Line sort of started moving pretty smoothly. Everybody's really great. Everybody's excited. I mean, we're getting toys of a film we've never seen before, but the fact that Star Wars was behind it, it was, and here goes. I thought I was going to be aggressive. My sister just jumped into that pile and went into the back and started just holding pieces up, yelling, "Do you have this one? No, put it in the cart. Okay. Do you have this one? No, put it in the cart." And she had stuff I didn't even want. She just threw it in the cart. We found a Naboo Queen Spider. I put that box in there. I found pretty much anything I wanted because they kept on coming from the back. You think just back in those days, man, they had boxes and boxes in the back. They just kept on pouring stuff out. And it was a dream come true, you get anything you want, there's no limits. And, there was not that many dealers there. That when I looked at the carts and stuff like that, there's people just getting what they wanted. They weren't trying to, score dealers' money on this. This was real fans just wanting to get what they wanted. Came out of there.
I remember
Ashley thought was the best time in the world. She said, that was so cool. You think they'll do it again for the next film? I said, I think so. She said, I'm there, man. This is great. She was so hyped.
Yeah, because I went to Walmart for it in Alexandria, Virginia, and I walked back to the toy and it was mobbed. There were people everywhere, but there were there was one entire aisle, one side of it, like when you walk past the department, like the outside aisle was all Star Wars. And then if you walked around to the other side of the shelf, it was all Star Wars. I remember they were the first ever Star Wars Lego.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
remember they had a set with Luke's land speeder. And this was back before, remember when all the yellow when all the Lego figures were yellow? Well, so were the Star Wars figures. They were all yellow, because their goal was to have them integrate with the rest of your Legos. Well,
Right.
remember they had the land speeder, and they had the Legos of Anakin and Sebulba's pod racers, and Hasbro put out or Kenner at the time put out their own pod racers. And I just remember picking up the Legos saying, I'm like, I was thinking, I don't think they've ever put out name brand Legos before. And sure enough, they had it. Star Wars was their first ever license.
Okay.
And I remember walking around away from the Legos because I wasn't going to buy any of them. I knew from surfing Rebel Scum at the time, kind of a lot of witch figures. I knew basically what was coming out. And I remember walking around the other side, and I thought down that whole aisle, there was all Star Wars stuff. But then I turned around and those big wire dump bins were also filled with Kenner figures. And I'm like, God damn, this is a whole lot of Star Wars in one place. And I remember picking up random shit like there was a pod racer, Odie Mandrell, and a little droid. And I'm like, what the hell is that? It doesn't matter. I bought one anyways. I've got a weakness for strange aliens. I'm like, ooh, interesting. The one figure nobody could seem to find, they had him, but he was harder to find, was Darth Maul, because you remember that year when Darth Maul was fucking everywhere? Like you couldn't turn around, and Darth Maul was like the representative of episode 1. His image was everywhere. That red and black devilish face. And I'm like,
Emily has a small Rubik's Cube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. How long did it take her to solve that one?
A couple minutes.
Figures.
Marcus from England sent that to her.
So remember, you couldn't turn around and not see Darth Maul somewhere. But damn, there was always a lot of marketing for Star Wars, but I remember because early on when we saw the initial pictures on the internet of the stuff that was coming out, all the packages said episode 1 because the movie didn't have a title yet. And I remember when I read online that the actual title was going to be the Phantom Menace, and I thought, well, that's weird. Like it took a while to get used to calling it by an actual name because it was just episode 1. And I remember thinking, well, how long is it going to be until they get merchandise out with the title on it?
Yeah.
I don't really think they ever did. I think they just kept it as episode 1 on the merchandise until the merchandise was out of stores. It was just so memorable.
Yeah.
Now, after you got back to Florida, Dayton, did you go back to see it again? Or did you only see it those 2 times when you were in Tennessee?
I only saw it those 2 times at the theater. Yeah.
Brian, what about you? Did you?
I saw it. I went to it opening night with my girlfriend, and I was seeing dating a gal from the hospital that I was working with, and her mom was the pediatric ortho surgeon there. I worked with her too, so I went with my girlfriend and her family to see it that first opening. And then I think I went again by myself just to see it one more time in the theater.
Yeah.
I saw it 8 times at the movie theater.
That does not surprise me.
When I go see it this weekend with my children, that will be the 9th time I've seen it in the theater. And
yeah, now I gotta see if it's gonna be how long it's in the theater.
When I yeah, because the first time I saw it on opening day, I was with my friends John and Susan. And then I saw it again that weekend at the mall by myself. And I tried to talk my sister into going to see it, but she said, no thanks. And I'm like, well, you're missing out. She's like, somehow I doubt it. To this day, I don't know if she's ever seen it. But and then I took a trip out to California to get back together with a few of my friends from high school, because that's where I graduated high school from. And I went with a couple of them to go see episode 1. And one of them, as we were walking in, Megan's like, all right, tell me, have you already seen this movie? And I'm like, yeah, I've seen it twice. She's like, do not say the lines before the movie does. I'm like, okay, I'll try not to. But yeah, I think I'd already seen it 2 times. But when I was in Virginia, when I go see it by myself, there were 2 different movie theaters I'd go to, whichever one was playing the best times. But I remember one of those was the same theater that I had paid to go see the other movies before that, to go see the trailer for episode 1. One of those was Wing Commander. God damn, that was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
But there was a handwritten sign on the window of the box office that said, if you pay for a ticket for Wing Commander just to watch the Star Wars preview, you're not getting a refund if you leave.
Do you know that I saw that sign like that too? Yeah, there's signs like that all over in the theaters we go to. You're not getting refunds if you just go in and see the trailer.
Yeah,
There's
because
people paying set, what was it, $5, $6 back then?
Yeah,
go in there and see the trailer and walk out.
Because the first trailer for it played with Meet Joe Black, which was an overly long Brad Pitt movie that to this day I've never actually watched, but I did pay to go to the movie theater to go see the first trailer for it, and everybody was leaving that was there, just and they were getting refunds. So 6 months later, when the second trailer comes out, the theaters have learned their lesson and they're like, fuck all of you, stay and watch Wing Commander. I am still convinced the only reason the Wing Commander movie made any money was because they put the Star Wars trailer before it, because that movie was so bad. I don't think anybody would have gone to see it otherwise.
I think there should be asterisks beside that movie and Meet Joe Black when it comes to their box office earnings, because I don't think that was true box office earnings because of the movies. I think it was the trailer.
I think it was, because honestly, that Wing Commander, I just remember watching the whole thing saying, I know it's based on a video game that I've never played, but I'm like, why is everything in this movie terrible? The cast was terrible, special effects were terrible, the uniforms that the space cadets were wearing were terrible. Saffron Burrows is in it. I'm like, all right, well, she's kind of a bitch, like she is in everything she's in. Freddie Prinze Jr. is kind of a douche, like everything else he's in. Matthew Lillard is playing the jackass sidekick, like everything else he's in. And the special effects, like, I don't know if it was CGI or just shitty costume or what. I don't remember. I just remember getting to the end of that movie saying, well, at least the trailer was worth going to see.
Yeah. I did not see that movie. So I just looked on Fandango to see if Phantom Menace is going to be in the theater past the 4th. And it looks, at least here in town, it looks like it's going to be here through the 9th. So
oh, sweet. All right.
We are going to see it. And as an aside, I haven't been watching. I guess I'm not getting feeds for like trailers for new movies, but there is it's apparently coming out this weekend. Dayton will remember this TV show, The Fall Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a Fall Guy movie coming out this week
Yeah.
with
I think it's going to be funny, man.
it's
I
gonna
think it's
be
going to be
right.
great.
Have you seen previews for it?
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
it look good?
Yeah. I think it's very loosely based on the TV show,
Okay.
but it's got what's his face in it.
Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt.
Yeah. Yeah. They're great together. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a fun movie.
I
Yeah.
I've
grew up
never watched The Fall Guy. I don't remember the original show. I don't know anything about this. All I know is yesterday there were pictures from Hollywood,
Yeah.
or in the last day or two, there were pictures from Hollywood with the big world premiere of it.
Okay.
And Lee Majors showed up at the, because I know he was in the original, but
Here's in Heather.
and but Ryan Gosling and the other guy from Saturday Night Live showed up dressed as Beavis and Butthead,
Yeah.
like they were on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And I saw
stuff.
that, and I had to share that. I'm like, that's hysterical. But
I see that. I didn't know that's what that was from.
yeah, there was a red carpet interview with Emily Blunt, and those two dressed as Beavis and Butthead walked up to her, and they bombed her interview, like threw her all off, got her all flustered, and I guess they were doing that. They were just walking around, just causing chaos and laughter everywhere. So
Great stuff. Yeah. That
um,
was funny.
so really, that's all I know about the Fall Guy. But it does. I did watch the preview, and I'm like, all right, it does look funny.
Yeah, I haven't seen I didn't even know it was a thing. So I'm gonna have to go find the preview now and watch the preview because I grew up with that. It was one of my favorite TV shows growing up.
Yeah.
With Lee Majors and Heather Locklear, and I don't remember the other guy's name, but yeah, I watched
Heather
that.
Locklear, golly, yeah.
Because Lee Majors just had a birthday, because that's been in my Facebook feed.
Yeah.
So I've seen all of the pictures for him. It was like his 71st birthday or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't have any memory of the original show. I don't remember ever hearing about it, but I'm like, well, it does make me wonder if it's playing on any of the streaming services, but because now I'm curious enough that I might want to go watch it. But
I'm gonna have to look that up too. I'm curious to see how well aged.
Yeah.
To see. So Dayton, are you still restoring your G.I. Joe space shuttle?
My Defiant. Let's see if
Yeah.
I can adjust the camera. There he is, right up there.
Oh, look at that. There we go. Did you get it done?
No, I still need to get the ladder. I need to get an air hose for the figure.
Ooh.
I got, and that's expensive, and it's hard for me. A lot of people are saying just get yourself some bendy wire and just throw it out. The ladder isn't that expensive. It's one of the most usual things that you find. There's a couple of cannons at the top that clip in.
Yes.
No, it's not the most mint piece. It's those blue canopies up there. One I got was dry rotting on one side a little bit, and you know how that plastic was back then. They didn't make those toys to last forever. They made them be played with and brutalized, and then go and be thrown away after your kids grow up. They weren't made.
It's shocking how many of those
mint.
toys have survived until now.
Yeah, I'm surprised that guy's doing well. I'm surprised my Pterodome is doing so well. It's good though. I took some Plastistrut welding liquid and just went underneath, and all these little areas that were cracking, I sort of just welded it together. It literally is like styrene, that plastic. It's that manageable, and you can literally weld that stuff together again. But
Really?
you have to do it in such a way to where you can't see it. But if you look underneath it, you can see the weld. But it's not going to break. I mean, it's not going to shatter in the same spot over and over again. But it's a small little area on the other side. But they're those canopies. Number one, they charge you an arm and a leg. Number two, if they ship it to you, I guarantee you, if they don't wrap that thing like it's a newborn baby in a box, it will not arrive in good shape. It just won't. It's most people now these days selling that stuff says pick up only. They can't risk it.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I'm surprised mine got shipped as it got to me as well as it did, and then I ended up breaking one of the blue ones myself.
Yeah. This guy, the guy that sold me the chunk of this that came in was in Orlando, and most of it was the shuttle, the smaller shuttle, the bigger part of the shuttle, the bottom parts, not the blue canopy, but the bottom parts and some of the other parts. This guy loosely threw it in a box, and it got to me. Fortunately, it didn't break any more than it did, and I got that from eBay. Gave the guy a bad rating. I said, dude, this stuff isn't, I got for a good price. I'm going, yeah, but dude, don't matter. The box was half open when I got it, but I went through inventory and got it all out and cleaned it all up. And fortunately, it was a good starter point. It was a good starting point, and then I just started building from there. But yeah, I still have several parts to go.
Cool.
But, on the wall. On the wall next to your Defiant, there's something that looks like a clock or something. Is that a Planet Hollywood clock?
Okay. I got two Unicrons.
It's Unicron. Okay.
They're the same figure, but I got two of them. I got one so I can robot mode, and I got the other one so I can have them in planet mode.
Was that the HasLab Unicron?
No, this is the third-party one.
Oh, okay.
It's an animated version, but I had to have two of them because I love both sequences, so I had to have two of them. So that's how that started.
So does it actually eat planets or no?
Wish, its front gate doesn't open like I'd like. The Unicron, the HasLab Unicron has a front gate that opens the mouthpiece. This one doesn't open like that, unfortunately. I was hoping that a 3D artist would 3D print something for that, but I haven't yet, so it's okay. It's all right.
I was just curious because yeah, it looked like a clocker. I was just curious.
And then I've got it wouldn't be me asking you if you were ever going to do the Beauty and the Beast figures from Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, okay. Now let me tell you something about Metal Gear. I'll tell you, I've been with the customs you've been doing for several years now, and then my new interest in G.I. Joe again because of Classified, and then Valaverse's work for Bobby Val and them talking about their pieces and stuff. It's really got me back into being interested in the military stuff. And I was always thinking to myself, how can I get back into doing combat military type stuff, at 1/18 scale. I'm not going to do any 6 scale on this stuff if I'm going to start it. And I thought to myself how cool it would be to break out my old Metal Gear stuff and start looking through it and go ahead and do a Solid Snake from the original Metal Gear and then start building from there again. I was thinking about doing Foxhound through the Beauty and the Beast through and a couple others. I think what killed me with the inspiration, because I'm more of a visual guy. Metal Gear sort of went way off the hinges when it came to what I was interested in terms of espionage and stuff like that. They got more into like Raiden. You remember Raiden? Yes. They got more into that biomechanical, technical ninja stuff, and they sort of really got heavily into that stuff. And that sort of threw me off because we got away from the good old fashioned Solid Snake and this stuff. The Beauty and the Beast crew, they're women, but they wear cybernetics and stuff like that. I can get into that. But then they got into where they were replacing bodies with cybernetics and stuff like that. And I do like Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 4. I do like his cybernetic body and all that stuff. But I've learned so much over my sculpting over the past, especially the past 3 or 4 years, that the stuff I look at that I did earlier, I'm going, I could do that so much better now. So I basically I scrapped almost all of it. And I have the bodies for them, the framework for them ready to go. I just haven't gotten down to just start sculpting anything yet.
I will never give up hope that you will do the Beauty and the Beast customs.
Yeah. I think once I start something like that, I'll go ahead and continue with it. But because I've gotten to the point now to eat too that I don't really. There was a time early on when I was doing customs that was an ambition to get into the toy industry and stuff like that. I mean, we're going back years and years.
Yeah.
Um, get noticed, but technology has gotten ahead of me. And even though I do like 3D printing, I want to get a 3D printer. One guy asked me the other day, he said, "Hey, I noticed that you don't post a lot anymore. You still doing customs?" I said, "Well, dude, you either not looking or you're just not liking what I'm doing." But I said, in terms of what I used to do years ago, I'm not putting out as much updates, but I'm still working on this stuff. I said, I think it's not the fact that traditional customizers are slowing down, the ones that have stuck to it. I think you're seeing more and more younger customizers stepping up and pumping out just all kinds of 3D printed STL file crap.
Yeah.
No offense to the customizers doing it, because there's a lot of talented customizers doing it. But there's a lot of other crap out there, and they just keep pumping this stuff out to where it makes traditional customizers look like they're not putting out enough. Richard Whipple, he's still doing his thing and he's taking his time.
Yeah.
You do your stuff and you do it well and you take your time. I do my stuff. I've gotten to the point now these days where this is a hobby I like to go on for a long time. I don't want to burn myself out on this stuff.
Right.
Sculpting using my hands is important. I think that's good for your mental health and your physical
100%.
health as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm trying to stay away from the computer after 5:30. I want nothing to do with the computer. I don't want to sit there and do STL5. Or I'm calling it STL. I might be absolutely wrong calling
I
them
think
that.
that's what they call.
Yeah, but I don't want to be designing stuff and things like that and 3D printing it and having to do it in the other room because of the chemical smell and all that. So I just don't want to do that. I just want to get to sculpting.
Yeah, I haven't embraced the
And
stuff either.
yeah, I just would rather just stick with my guns. But saying that, going back to Metal Gear, it's just something I think I can do a lot better now. And I think that my way of building them is a little bit different now these days. And especially with oh, they're gonna kick my ass for not remembering this group. There's some companies that are doing blanks, 1/18th scale blanks. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Boss
Yeah,
fight.
Boss Fight.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got a whole mess of their blanks one time, about 2 years ago, and I've actually fallen in love with them. I literally just grind them down to nothing. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm making a DeJour Thoris from John Carter of Mars.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Man,
So
dude. Yeah, those are fantastic blanks to use. My little score, the bounty hunter, he was a total blank from them, boss fighter blank. And I just literally just ripped it apart and just sanded it all down and resculpted it from the
I did
bottom up.
I just put it up today. I did Reagan from Exorcist.
All that. Yep.
And
Yeah.
that is
Yeah, your paint job on that is eerily good, dude.
Yeah.
Like really, I think I
wish-
put the shocked emoji reaction because I'm just like, holy shit, it looks just like she did in the movie. Like your painting matched the makeup in the movie. I'm like, I know you made it for somebody,
I did.
but if that does not give that person sleepless nights, more power to them.
I sent pictures so the guy I made it for is a paramedic that I work with who's been a paramedic longer than I have been.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's been a paramedic 35 years, I think. I've only been a paramedic almost 25.
Damn.
I sent him the stills that I took and the card back, and he said, "Wow, I'm speechless, absolutely amazing." So
Awesome, dude.
yeah, he's ecstatic. I'm printing the card tomorrow, hopefully getting it assembled, and then I'm handing it off to him probably next week. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Dude, I mean, I'm just saying, You could step that up. If you get into this heavy sculpting, dude, you can make the bed, dude. Make the bed for Reagan.
I'm telling you,
Make projectile vomit for her.
you need to come visit me for a week and get me the basics of sculpting. Teach me the basics to sculpt so I don't hate
Anytime he's sculpting anything, he'll send me a text and he'll say, "Have I ever mentioned that I fucking hate sculpting?" To which I'll respond, "Not lately." Or not since, the last thing you were sculpting. Yeah, it's not his favorite thing.
Yeah, it is time consuming, and it does, it does slow things down a bit. But
I don't have a problem with that. It's just I'm not good at it.
Well, just keep going with it, dude. And then the fact is that something like a bed, let's say, you want to do Reagan's bed, I would take a sheet of styrene, cut it up, make a framework for the bed, and then I just sculpt the outer part of it into a bed and just create it. Then I'd paint it up. And you have a lightweight epoxy covered bed that you can set Reagan on, stuff like that. Yeah. If I ever get a chance to come over there, dude, I'll just bring some supplies with me in a bag and we'll just start.
And like Emily's like, she would love to have you visit too. And it wouldn't just have to be customizing, because I know you like photography too, and we'd hit all the cool places to take pictures here too.
Cool, dude. Awesome, man.
So yeah, we would love to have you come visit.
Cool.
The only thing is we got to go see my mom, because she adopts all my friends.
Oh, okay, cool. I wouldn't mind that.
As
awesome.
JD has found out.
Yeah, I call her Ma. She's like second mom to me. So.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, no, 100%. Awesome. You gotta come visit sometime.
Okay, dude, we need to.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's just Metal Gear. Yeah, it's a thing, dude. It's going to happen one of these days. We'll probably be in our 80s, and you'll be on another podcast going, "What are you doing?
You're gonna do the Metal Gear Solid?" I really
dead right on the
So, yeah, absolutely looking for that. Aside from the aliens stuff and the in Star Wars stuff, do you got anything else that you're working on that you haven't put out there?
I've I'm in aliens, it's more like it's three categories. It's the alien, the 1979 stuff. I call it the 79 project.
Right.
The aliens, which is something I'm getting ready to start back up on. I went ahead and got all my components out for the Queen. I'm still working on the neck of the Queen. I got her crown, or the skull and the face and all that stuff, teeth done and all that stuff of the Queen, but I haven't started on the neck yet, and I don't know how articulated this lady's going to be. I just don't know. I do want to do some Marines, so I'm getting resource images of all the boots they wear and all the different types of garb they were wearing, close-ups and stuff, so that I can go ahead and start sculpting I'd say about 2 of them. I think I'll just do 2 at a time of 2 different characters and just go from there.
Vasquez and Hudson. Game over, man.
Yeah, I think Vasquez would actually be one of my first ones, and then probably either Hicks or Hudson would be my next, and then a third would be Ripley. I'd get Ripley done.
So we got another customizing question. So I do a lot of research as well on the custom. So like JD said that my Reagan looked just like the movie. Well, there's a reason that it looks just like the movie. Well, how do you do your research for your custom?
Well, I don't know how you're not having nightmares, dude, to look at Reagan's face doing that stuff, man.
Look, I looked at that. I'm like, he'll post customs, and sometimes I'll put up a comment like, "Well, boy, you sure can paint." And what I mean by that is, holy shit, I don't know how you paint like that. But I looked at this Reagan cut, and I'm just like, look, I know this guy can paint, but holy fuck, how the hell did he pull that off?
Well, he keeps doing it and doing it and doing it, and you're going to get good at it. That's just like sculpting. Brian, you keep sculpting and sculpting and sculpting.
I know. I'm saying, come out and give me the basics on what I'm doing.
No, but I mean, like this Reagan custom,
like foundation. I just need to have somebody show me what I'm not Right.
But I mean, this Reagan cut, it looks like it should have taken you more than one try to get it that good. Like,
I repainted that head twice.
oh, just twice though. Okay. So,
And I actually tried to do water slide decals for the design on the nightgown, but water slide decals that big are just super insanely hard to deal with. And it did not turn out, did not look good. And so I scrapped the water decals and just hand painted.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. But your question, well, you know,
Research.
question was how I do research. Well, I do like 3 different things. I go through the internet and I collect as many images as I can. For Alien, it's really good because I'm kind of gotten acquainted with a lot of the aging, unfortunately, the aging special effects artists that worked on the original film. And I
Nice.
contact them on a regular basis. And this like Dennis Lowe just sent me a ton of photos of the Narcissus so that's how I'm getting the ability to build this, and getting the proportions right. Because I got all these tons of photos that he sent over.
Sweet.
So image acquisition through internet and contacts and stuff like that. I just put them in a folder and a file. Then I'll take that and I'll drop it onto Dropbox because I need to be able to access a smaller, like an iPad or something like that while I'm sculpting.
Mm-hmm.
I used to, and I didn't have the iPad. I have books and books and books of images just put in a little slip paper. And I have tons of these books that I still use. But, now that I have the smart pad, I just go into my Dropbox and access the folders there and just go and scan through the images and get my reference image I need and use that. Um, Other than that, I do a lot of sketch work. If it comes like a diorama or something, I'll just show you a little sneak peek. Kind of like, how do I do the air vents? If you remember in Alien, that Dallas has to go into the vent,
Uh-huh.
that creepy ass closure. I just start sketching my diorama piece. I just do these crazy sketches and
Uh-huh.
just trying to come up with my build. How am I going to build this out? How is it going to work? Is it going
Yep.
to be too big, too small? Right. Then I'll go back in and start refining, you know, some stuff. And some of them, one guy is asking me to do what they call the box alien. The box alien was from the Illustrated Alien comic that came out the year that Alien was released, and it was something that was in the actual script, in which the alien can fold itself up into almost like a box type
Okay.
thing to hide, right? Hiding in this enclosure, kind of like a roach, how it flattens itself out and stuff to
Right.
show it's like an insectoid. So I'm sitting here just playing around with how can I take my existing molded parts that I have there and how can I collapse that into a box, and I'll do all these crazy sketches
damn,
and
that's
stuff like
cool.
that. Yeah, and just come up with like a catalog of sketches and stuff like that of what I want to do. That, along with the imagery and stuff like that, helps get my mind straight on what I need to focus on and how I need to build things. So, when it comes to Metal Gear, I got books and books of Metal Gear that I screen captures from the video games.
Yeah.
One of the things I love much is these YouTube videos where they do no commentary playthroughs.
Yes.
I'll go through there and screen grab, screen grab, screen grab. Thank goodness it's high definition, and I'll just get as many pictures as I can of those. So yeah, that's how I do my research now these days, and it's really helps a lot.
And I highly recommend that to any customizer that really wants their stuff to look good is spend the time and do a little research before you start working on your custom. Know what it looks like. I think one of the hardest things that I had to do research on was my Rick Deckard custom from Blade Runner, because every
Yeah.
shot was either in black and white or whatever color film they were using had some weird color cast to it. So it was really
Yeah.
hard to see what the original color of like his shirt and his tie were to match.
There's some good places also like the prop store and some other places where you can go to, and they have the costumes and stuff from these movies that you can actually go to that are well lit. You get screen grabs of all that stuff as well. So
Excellent. So yeah, I was curious to see what, what type of resources you use that I have not used. And
yeah,
that's a good one to know, because yeah, that's same thing with the nightgown for Reagan's for the Reagan that I did, because it's it's different. Like every photo that you look at, it's a little different. I think one of the one of the things that I use a lot for painting references is Hot Toys figures.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, you'll get all kinds of great information from them because they get their information from the studios themselves. So
But
one thing I'll recommend to a lot of customizers coming up too is, especially in 3 3/4, and it's something that I never thought I would say, and when I was starting out, is that don't always concentrate so heavily on the articulation. If you've got a figure that does a certain thing or is a certain type of creature or something like that, and you think you're limited to where you can't pull this figure off, like my little custom, like Ron Cobb, um, it was a concept for the tropical rainforest creature. And
okay.
I did, and I said, well, how am I going to articulate those leaves to make them bendy and all that stuff? I don't have the technology or the hardware to do that. I don't have a vacuum former to be able to make rubber with wire and stuff like that. I've tried it. It's difficult to do.
I agree
It-
with you. Sometimes articulation's overrated. You got to sacrifice it to make something look cool.
That
yeah.
is something
So
that I have a hard time getting over myself.
yeah, and I'm saying to people, just you can always do switch out parts.
Yes.
For example, if you have a articulated figure like my Rendar, not Dash Rendar, but I have a Star Wars figure that's supposed to sit on a horse. I can't think of his name right now. I can't get the articulation in his legs to straddle the horse. So instead, I have a magnet as his waist joint. So what I'm going to do is I'm creating a lower half of his body that can sit on the horse that I can just put the waist on, and there I got it. I got it. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Don't limit yourself to articulation to where you just give up because you think, well, I can't make it do what I want to do. So there's other ways around it. There's other ways you're not doing this for a business. You're not doing this for a company. You're doing this for your own gratification mostly, and to show that you can come up with these ideas and you can think of these things, and they could, I like the
I'm
old
stuck on
way of,
wanting to know who the character is. Sorry.
yeah,
Um,
I can think of it. It's why am my mind just goes blank because I
and
have
at
so many.
first I got all excited. I'm like, "Ooh, Dash Rendar! Like he's one of my favorite expanded universe characters."
People keep asking me to make them. That's why it keeps popping in my head. But
I'm adding to the
he's your
request
guy
list.
now. I
Make
got through
Dash
him.
Rendar, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Let's see.
Rare earth magnets are definitely one of the things that I've picked up over the last couple of years that have just been a game changer for me.
Also, yeah, they are great. And also, if you go online and you look for little that the bands that you would get with your figures that they would strap the little rubber bands, the little clear rubber bands that they
yeah,
would strap your figures to and stuff like that. They don't do that anymore. They use the biodegradable paper stuff that they twist and stuff, or they use twisty ties now these days. You don't do that anymore. Well, you can go on Amazon and buy a little box of about 200 of those clear little bands. And what those bands are great for doing is if you have exterior armor on the shoulders and stuff like I do for my alien uh, spacesuits,
Mhm.
you want them to roll comfortably on the shoulders and articulation, just take one of those bands and cut it in half and sort of just size it to the arm so it wraps around the shoulder, and you glue it to the inside with some super glue to the inside of the shoulder pauldron, the armor,
Yeah.
and it'll hold it on there, and it'll last for at least 2 or 3 years. You may
Huh.
have to replace it because that little bit of rubber degrades over time.
Sure.
And I had to do that. I had to go buy some more because all of my shoulders are falling out. Well, what's going on here? Well, the bands degrade.
Yeah.
They just dry out. But that's another thing that you can. That's thinking out of trying to figure out ways of making your figure work. Stop trying to be a toy company. You're not going to be. You don't have the metal plates and all the high end stuff that these guys are doing it with. And if you don't have a 3D printer to create this stuff, you're having to do it by hand. Don't kill yourself trying to figure out how to, don't get discouraged. Figure out different ways. There's different ways of doing it, and you can pull it off just as good as the toy company can. Might be an extra step or two, but I'm looking this guy up. I'm gonna find him here in just a second.
I'm just curious.
It's driving me nuts now.
Not Valence, is it?
Nah. Let's see. Dasgeneer. DASS.
From Dark
Jedi.
The Dark
From Part-Time.
Yeah.
Lord, golly. Can't believe that. I made like 2 of these.
You know what though? I can
see
why Dash Rendar sprung to mind though with that. Their first names are
yeah, they're kind of close. So yeah, that's who I was talking about. So yeah, you figure out ways to do that. And I'm so worried that Vintage Collection isn't going to do all the figures I want it to do. So I'm, yeah. So make them.
They're not, because there's plenty of more Din Djarin's they need to make.
Yeah.
Black Series has the same problem. I'm like,
yeah.
They're finally making Moma and the Don, the Hammerhead. I'm like, well,
they gave him a blaster, didn't he? Was not the blaster type, right?
I think every version of him has always come with some kind of sidearm.
Yeah,
the initial one came up with a big old double-barreled thing.
Yeah, the power of the Force. Yeah, he had the most gigantic weapon in the line, and I'm like, well, that seems unnecessary. He's a gardener.
Yeah, he's a war type guy.
The Black Series, they're putting him out, and I'm like, well, they only have 95 more Cantina aliens they need to make now. But
yeah.
Look, I love Din Djarin as a character, but fuck, between the two lines, how many figures do they need?
Yeah.
They put out the Cantina band, and I'm like, but where's my Devronian? And where's my whatever the fuck, the big the praying mantis guy.
Oh yeah.
And
maybe a HasLab coming up. Could be.
Yeah,
could be Cantina with pack-ins of carded Cantina alien figures.
Yeah,
that'll piss some people off because
new Vintage Collection HasLab coming up.
I'm kind of hoping that the Black Series will eventually give us a Snaggletooth and a little bat person, Cabe. What the hell is her species called?
Yeah,
Shadrafan. I don't expect the Black Series to do like the really crazy shit, but damn it, I want my Devronians. They don't have enough of them.
Yeah, they don't.
But the oh hell, then I look at the prequels and I'm like, well, look, Naboo is my favorite planet in all of Star Wars. It's all Episode 1's fault, but the 9,000 different outfits that Padme wears throughout the entire trilogy, and not counting the extra outfits that she has in the Clone Wars series, and they are now on their second Padme figure.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Could we get a couple of those really cool dresses in the Black Series? Because really, I looked at them in the Vintage series in the 1/18 scale. And I'm like, fuck, they've done a lot of her outfits. But at the bigger scale, they could get more detail. So why aren't they doing that? Why are they this far into the line? They've only just given us the Battle of Theed purple dress, and they just got around to a kid Anakin. Yeah, they got some
catching up to.
Yeah, they got some oversights that they really.
Hopefully, they're looking at the long game and they're just stretching it out as far as they can for like several years. You know, that's why you look at G.I. Joe Classified. G.I. Joe Classified's got a long way to go before they ever take
That's
care of all the characters, and they're going deep. They're going to go deep,
yeah.
and I'm fine with that because you know my G.I. Joe collection ended around the time of Ninja Force. I think with Zartan and the Mohawk and stuff like that. I had those guys, and that's when but that'd be freaking awesome to get a Ninja Force Zartan, you know,
Um,
these days. And
Anything is
that.
possible.
Yeah,
I don't think anything's off the table for the classified line.
it's
no, I think,
I don't
yeah.
think Ninja Force Zartan is in the works, but I was watching one of the interviews with one of the podcasts with the Hasbro team yesterday, and somebody asked if there was anything with a Mohawk coming, and Lenny Panzica's answer was not at the moment. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah,
So at some point,
yeah.
um, damn it, I need slice and dice. Okay, god damn it, you're gonna put ninjas out. Give me my slice and dice. God damn it.
I think it's possible just because Metalhead has a Cold Slither logo on
Yeah.
armor. You cannot tell me they are not going to do Cold Slither figures at some point in time.
They're
Um,
going to do that as convention exclusive.
That's what I think too. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
a convention exclusive pack, but I am predicting Cold Slither figures.
Should have like a little a sound chip. So when you open the panel, it sings the
Yeah.
song. Kind of like by a Hallmark
damn it,
ornament, you know? You
damn
open it
it, you
up.
mentioned that song, and guess what? It's gonna get stuck in my head again, you son of a bitch. Every time I see those words together online, that song gets stuck in my head. So damn you. Um, if you know what, if that's still stuck in my head a couple hours from now, I'm gonna message you and be like you. So, um,
Well, you know, a long time ago, one of the production people, getting back to Star Wars, said about, you know, the Cantina Band. One person said, this is what hinted, I think, started this rumor about a Cantina HasLab. So one person said, you got the Cantina Band together, and they're all, you know, in together with this pack, but, you know, it'd be great if you had like a stand or something and you can play the music and stuff. They said, well, wait a while for that. It was like a premonition, you know, that maybe that's going to be a part, and that'd be great for a little Cantina Band to sit there and had a sound chip in it to
That
play
would
the
be,
music in the
you know
display.
how
You know,
you know how last year the Mandalorian set, the little bar from season one, came
yeah,
out. I have a feeling that was them dipping their toe into that water because they were probably planning to do Chalman's Cantina at some point.
yeah.
Boy, Chalman, the Wookiee, boy, there's a figure I'd love to get at some point. I don't know if he's ever even had any official visual reference, but damn
Oh,
it.
oh, oh.
Um,
Huh.
um, yeah, I have a feeling they're yeah, they got a. Cause I had the cardboard. Remember in the Power of the Force 2 line, they had the cardboard cantina
Oh, I
set.
loved it. Yeah,
I had
I
that.
love
one.
that thing, man.
Um,
I had the vintage Cantina set.
I
Yeah,
never had the vintage one, but
That thing
I only knew the
last
vintage one existed because of the Sears Wish Book catalogs. Um,
Yeah,
but
no, I had that the vintage Cantina set. That thing was a blast to play with.
did yours come with the blue snaggletooth?
No, it did not. I don't
I know the first release of it did. I don't know what the later ones came with, but
I don't remember now. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't know blue snaggletooth existed until I had the internet. So because I had the little short one with the furry feet. And I was very dismayed when I learned later with the internet as a resource that even the little short snaggletooth figure was wholly inaccurate to the movie, and seeing the actual mask and the actual outfits that they were wearing and they were normal height. I'm like, you know what? No, I still prefer the little short guy with the furry feet. God damn it. I don't care about accuracy. It's
yeah.
a tradition, damn it. Um,
Uh,
just like a Hammerhead wearing a blue bathing suit. Damn it, I don't care if it's accurate. That's why I'm glad that the animation stuff has thrown all those Cantina aliens in their weird 70s outfits. I prefer it.
Yeah.
Greedo in the green flight suit is my favorite look for him. So
Yeah.
And it's tradition.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
And I think we are right at about 2 hours there. So
Wow, cool. Okay, wow, that flew by.
yeah, it sure did. So Dayton, thanks again for being on.
You're
Always great
welcome,
to have you
bro.
on the show. And yeah, welcome to come out sometime. We'll have to talk about that going forward.
Yeah,
But yeah, we'd love to have you come visit. And
thanks for having me.
thanks for being on. As
thanks,
always,
man.
please do that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Dayton, PM me some links to your social media so I can put those in the show notes.
Okay.
So Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that.
All right, cool.
And be sure to check out Dayton's work because as far as I'm concerned, there is none better.
When you do the cover art for this episode, can you use one of Dayton's little sculpts in between us? Like
I used one. I used his Darth Malgus for the first.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think use one of his other Star Wars sculpts for it because it just
That's the
I
plan.
love seeing the obscure characters that you do, and I'm like, you know what, Hasbro
I
never
love
needs
doing
to make it
stuff.
because
Yeah.
it just I always say it with GI Joe. There's no such thing as too obscure, and the more obscure, the better. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Nope. I'm gonna head back over to the fam and sit down and edit this, and hopefully my uncle has better internet than I do, so it might be up tonight. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, as always, please do that fun social media stuff, like, share, subscribe, comment below, check out Dayton's work in the show notes. And as always, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more episodes of General Geekery.
thanks, everybody. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.